allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So roll call. Bays? Yep. Collins?
Yep.
Wilson?
Yes.
Keller?
Yes.
Simpson? Yes. Approval of the tentative agenda.
Huh?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. Public comments.
Do we have on the chicken ordinance that the chickens have to be inside a fence with something on it so they can't get out? We had an incident at the church where there was a chicken in the parking lot that actually chased someone into the building.
Oh, gosh. Well, you do live in a bad neck of the woods, don't you?
Well, I truly do not think it was the chickens to the south of me, because I've never seen them really get out of, they've never gone that far. They're in the yard all the time, but they're not, they don't wander. They go across the street to the creek area, but I've never seen them go any further. I know that the ones in Barry Geno's old house, I know they have chickens, but I don't know how many or if it even would have been one of theirs. But that's the only thing I know of that has chickens close.
Yeah, but they're supposed to, they're not supposed to be running.
I think 6 was the number, if I remember right. I don't remember about confinement of them though, but it's
But
really,
yeah, they're supposed to be
Six
cooped
and no
and fenced in.
roosters.
yeah, there's something.
And you still got that no rooster. What's the deal with that?
We live next to one, and there's a big deal.
I was a block away and it was a big deal.
I think I for my one hand.
So those people have chickens also?
I think so.
They do.
I mean, they do have a coop, but I've not seen the chicken there yet, but they do have a coop. But
Your dog chased him? My dog chased him.
But yeah, I know that our neighbors to the south of us, their chickens roam the yard all the time. But like I say, I don't think it would have been one of theirs up in the parking lot of the church. I've never seen them go that far, but.
Yeah, I saw the other day, they were across over at Connie Giles' house, and a girl was trying to catch one that ran under the car. Then when I came back, it was at Barry's old house.
Yeah. I know the ones to the south of us wander on that block, like down to Judy Kaisen's house and the sanitation guy's house there. And they've crossed the road to the creek, but I've never seen them go any further.
I will track down the chicken owner.
Do you have a description of it?
I know what
I don't know, they ran into the church so fast, I don't think she got a description of it.
They ran like a chicken.
Any other public comments?
Well, I just I talked to Lacey about this. Am I the only one that gets these water bills from Chicago and Naperville, Illinois? Lacey, remember you said that our former city clerk sold or gave our mailing address to someone? Or do you guys get these?
I never got anything like that.
You should just pick it on me. Want me to buy water insurance? I get them fairly often.
I don't get it.
You don't get any of that?
Those things come from all different sources.
Okay.
I get them on card, people get them all the time and then complain. Who knows how they got your name, but there's a million
Okay,
ways.
just throw them away.
Yeah, you can't.
Well, I
stop them.
have, but, okay, I'm just curious, I guess. Thank you.
Any other public comments?
I got a two-parter, I guess, because I'm kind of new to the, sitting in on the council meetings and doing this, but my first one, I guess, goes to the house that's across from Clemens's. There's a dog that's tied up in between the right-of-way and the road, the sidewalk and the road on the right-of-way. And when we ride our scooters by there and we walk by there, the dog just goes nuts. And then there's another dog that's on about a 2-foot long chain that's tied to a tire, and it goes nuts as well. And I just want assurance that when those dogs get loose, and I can see the sheriff's not here to answer any questions, because that's where I was going to defer my questions to. I just want to assure that when those dogs get loose, because I can't assume they're friendly by the way they hit the end of that chain, is the city going to take responsibility and liability for that dog that gets loose that's in the city property? Is my first part to that question. Because that's on city property, that's not on private property. That dog is on city property 100%.
But it belongs to somebody.
The right-of-way between the sidewalk and the road is city property. That's a right-of-way. That's not private property.
It's easement, yeah.
Anything
It's
past
city
the
property.
sidewalk is city.
So I'm just curious on
Which house is that?
the house with the chickens and the stuff.
It would be, which chicken house?
Straight south.
The house that caught on fire and was
He said
abandoned for
where
years.
the chickens were.
No, south of Berry.
Yeah. Very big.
It's Lisa.
Lisa?
Yeah, I don't know her name, I don't know her. I know her, I see her kids at the park playing stuff, and I'm just,
Lisa's.
It's at Lisa's.
I know her kids are out running around playing with their dogs, but it's their dogs, but I know we go by there on scooters quite often, and when our scooters go by, the dogs go berserk. And I know one dog is not on private property, it is on the easement of the city. And when that dog gets loose and attacks somebody, who's gonna be responsible for that? Because I know they don't have homeowners insurance.
I will speak with her.
And then my second part is another one I was gonna defer to the sheriff. Is there anything we can do with all the explosions going on in this town at 5, 11, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
to say
tried.
that to you.
I mean,
It was Sunday all.
yeah, 5 o'clock I was.
Carrie and I have both called in and had the dispatcher call the officer, and they laughed about it.
Yeah. And I'm not saying you guys aren't doing your job, I'm just bringing another citizen concern to the council, because I'm sure you guys have heard plenty,
Oh, yeah.
but, maybe with enough squeak in the wheel, the county will give some grease or something, I don't know.
It
but-
rattles my window, my whole house.
Yes, I feel bad for you guys on that side of town, because it shakes my house,
Yeah,
so,
we put up with it for 2 years.
Yeah.
Better than 2 years so far.
The only
what?
thing I could suggest to you is to call, not that they're gonna do anything probably, but,
I did call last weekend when it was early afternoon.
yeah. That's all we can do is bombard them with calls.
Yeah, we did call Sunday, because it was early afternoon, it was early enough in the day. And the deputy did come and hung out for a while, hung out up here, which I thought did no good with his windows rolled up in his air conditioner. It's how it was. And I'd love for the sheriff to be present, so that way we can have that conversation. But the city pays for this service,
I agree with you.
so I'm just, yeah.
From what I was told, it's hard to prove because you don't have an exact time, you don't have any witnesses, anything on camera as to a specific time,
At the time they get
individuals
down here,
involved.
There's nothing to see.
It's just real hard to prove anything.
They asked me 11:30 at night if I recorded it.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I was planning on going to bed is where I was heading.
My cameras unfortunately are only triggered by motion.
How can you record something that you don't,
No,
you're
it's
not
not me.
involved with, and yeah.
Well, it's kind of like I told them when I called up there, and they said, well, did you see it? And I said, no, I'm sitting in my living room. I said, so, and it's south of me. I said, so how could I see it? And the dispatcher informed me that if I didn't see it, it didn't happen. And I said, so when somebody gets killed in this town, and nobody's there to see it, it didn't happen. 2 weeks later, Steve Reese got killed. So, did it happen or not?
Yeah, so, no, I guess my main concern is the dog over on that road. If somebody could just talk to
I
him
think one of
and,
those is kind of mean.
well,
Well,
that's
and the
not,
kids taunt it constantly.
What kids?
that lived there and next door.
That sounds like an issue the owner
Are we
needs to
talking about
handle.
two different houses?
No.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the other one.
The one south
The
of,
one just south of us.
You're talking about the wrong one.
It's right across from the creek, this green building right over here, across from Hammers' building, just right east.
Sorensen's old house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the coon hound that has the hound bark and is right on the city. For a while, they had it out back, and I didn't see it, and that worked, and that was, you know, it barked.
Well, I
but-
can tell you the black one does bite, because it tried to bite me, and thankfully I had a cage with me that I was dropping off there, and I was able to put it between the two of us.
I think they still have one in the back. Sure, I feel bad for it these hot days.
What is the ordinance for a dog that, for a situation like that, for an animal situation? I'm not talking about the situation, I understand hard times, people live in different situations. I'm just, with a mean dog, or a dog that's,
well, it would be kind of like that deal where the little girl got bit by the dog up here at the park and ended up with surgery on her face.
you know, I was there for that.
They didn't have insurance, house, you know, to cover it, so I don't know.
Well, if somebody's walking their dog up to the park, it's a little different, because they're at the park, they're in a community setting with their animal. This is an animal that's tied to a stake in the ground in city property, and it's been there for several months.
Yeah.
This isn't something that's brand new, that they're just walking on an easement, and the dog got loose and bit somebody. This will be something where that dog has been tied to an anchor on your guys' land, and and more likely, it's probably gonna be one of my kids that get bit, because we ride our scooters by there, and the dog
Yeah, I
goes
know, I
nuts.
see your little girl.
And I'm trying to prevent that before it happens, because those chains
Well,
aren't in
yes.
good shape.
Is that stake inside the sidewalk or outside?
Doesn't matter, that dog's on city property at all
The
times.
dog can still,
If you check, sometimes your property line is 38 inches behind the sidewalk.
A person can't put an invisible fence in a city right away and let their dog run in that area.
No, it's not an invisible fence,
But-
it's property line.
But that would be the same instances, is that dog's contained within the means of the grassed
I
area.
agree with that, yes.
So I would just, if somebody would say something, I'm not saying an all-out roar, throw them out of town, burn their house down kind of thing. I just would like a conversation to be had. That's all I'm asking. Thank you.
I will speak with
I can, but you seem to have a rapport with her.
Try and get along and get action.
Were you done, Junior?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
I have a question for the council. If a person is interested in becoming an EMT and serving on the Union Ambulance, is there any type of tuition reimbursement from the city to help?
Right there's the man to ask.
From the county, we do have, pending they pass the class, pending they fulfill their duty, getting through that as an adult, and they sign an agreement saying that they know that they're liable up until that point, the county will reimburse the service. So the service pays for it, like we would pay for the tuition to get the ball rolling. With that agreement signed, they do the ride times, they do the schoolwork, they finish it, then they get the tuition back in full from the county. It comes from the essential service bond that we passed a year and a half ago back.
Thank you.
And we've got two underneath our service right now who are doing that.
That's awesome.
So when we get to the ambulance stuff, we'll touch base with that too. But yeah.
Any other public comments? We'll open the public hearing vacating alleyways.
Does anybody have any comments or questions about that? We're just redoing everything because there was part of the description left out on one of the alleyways, and apparently there's two block Fs in Union. So we have to put, had to add what addition it was. So we just have to go through the motions and do everything over again.
And what alleys are we talking about?
Ours and Troy's.
Oh, okay. So that's gotta start all over.
And wasn't Dennis's stuff on there too?
Yeah.
I assume the one behind my house has been vacated.
The what?
The one behind my place has been vacated, means it's not a through alley and been dug up.
Never knew there was
I
an
don't
alley
know
there.
that there was ever an alley there.
I think there was, I think it was at one time.
There's a lot of alleys that have been abandoned.
I just checking bees on
Alley
the
being there?
subject.
The one that runs behind Floyd's building, the old weld shop,
Yeah,
that used to run all the way through.
it did.
Yeah, I mean, back when I was like that.
Well, I was like that too, at the same time.
Makes us old timers, Tom.
What did it do at the creek then, that alley?
Well, there's a mound of dirt there, I assume it was through at one time.
I don't remember that, but I know there was an alley because it
I
went
don't remember.
part of the way back. Ray Worth had his house there.
Yeah?
If it's not vacated, Gunderson parks all his stuff, I don't know, I mean,
There used to be a house set right there where that Dave has his lot.
it was off to the west on the corner.
Yeah.
Because Scooter and
There was
Audrey
two
lived there when we
houses.
first moved there.
There was one right there on the corner, and then there used to be another one between there and where Larry Norman lives. And Ray Worth and his wife lived in the next one, and then Jim Wilson, his name's not Jim, is it? Well, that Wilson guy put the trailer there.
Yeah,
Okay,
Don,
Yeah.
Don,
Okay.
yeah.
okay, is,
Risting lived in there down that street too, remember?
Based on Deacon as to where.
is there any other comments on the public hearing? If not, we'll close that. Open the public hearing for the budget amendment. Any? No comments? Okay, close,
Yeah, that's a budget amendment.
close that public hearing. Moving on, approval of the May City Council and library minutes and claims paid.
I'll make a motion. May council meetings and my claims paid.
Second. Roll call on that. Bays?
Yes.
Collins?
Yeah.
Wilson?
Yes.
Keller?
Yes.
Simpson?
Yes.
Okay, clerk report.
Okay, so there's the clerk's report in your packet. We did get the, what is it? The water and sewer 5-year pro forma done. And the people that did it, which was Northland Securities, she said, "I've reviewed both the water and sewer funds for the city of Union. As long as the city keeps its annual 2% increase in play and its operating expenditures remain steady or do not increase more than the inflationary increases, the city's utility funds are in a good position." I have that report if anybody wants to look at it, you're more than welcome to. It makes no sense to me, so I can't answer anything. Is there any question on the clerk's report?
Sheriff's report is in your packet.
Yeah, there's 17 calls on that.
The water report.
Everything is within compliance, and then there's the, attached is the water quality report.
Any questions? Mayor's report. We have a park cleanup on Thursday at 8 o'clock in the morning for any volunteers that would like to come and help plant and sweep and rake, and Jeremiah Andrews spoke with BCLUW and the football team. Not sure how many, but we have a football team coming over to assist with the park and other odds and ends around town that need some attention. So anybody able to help, that would be great.
Do we have a list of projects or as a guidance, or are we just winging it?
Well, we just kind of discussed it. We weren't sure, we still aren't sure exactly how many are coming. One of them, we thought, they probably won't want to plant flowers, so we can go clean up that rock and shovel out those culverts up there by the church, clean that up. And there's some other culverts, or intakes, I mean, that could use, the stuff's laying on top, it's just a matter of picking it up.
And moving the benches and picking tables out of the room would be good for them.
Out of where?
Up here.
The shelter.
Those are heavy.
Okay, they're still stacked in there from
Oh, yeah.
winter, you mean?
I tried to move a couple, but it didn't work. I didn't get very far.
And maybe try and weed whack, go ahead and weed whack the weeds down here. And if you can think of anything, add it to the list. We decide just kind of help spruce things up a little bit. Can't keep putting everything on you.
I know that they used to do some painting, I know on the basketball court, but I don't know if.
Yeah, they used to paint the bridges too.
Well, and I haven't got,
Curbs, but I don't think we've got.
I haven't looked at all the bridges. It wasn't that terrible long ago, I think, that they were painted. So if that would be the case, that we wanted bridges painted, we've got to go get paint.
Yeah. There's paint down there, but I'm sure it froze last winter, last couple winters. So I'm gonna say it's probably not good. But I know there's like new paint that never was maintained.
But those were just a couple, 3 things that we came up with, so if you can think of anything, you jot it down and holler and try and beat the heat. Thursday. Hopefully before it gets hot. Junior, did you have an ambulance report?
I was just gonna update you guys kind of. We're about to the end of class. Early July, kids should be tested out. So far, all's well that ends well. Sounds good. They're ready for ride times. Allie has started her ride times. She's setting them up with Eldora. I think Marshalltown's got some new staff, so that's kind of tough to get into. I have not talked to Michelle. I'm going to. And then we're slated for a fall class in Conrad. I got enough bodies to get it a lot closer for them. So we got 2 from Witten, a couple from here, and I'm still out soliciting for the ambulance. So we're still benefiting the cause. Trying to figure out a fall football schedule to see if we can continue to cover that football game over in Conrad for home games. It's up in the air right now. So other than that, business is normal. Things are going for the better. Any questions for what's going on?
Just thank you for what
Yes,
you do
thank
there.
you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Consider for approval resolution 22-07, the monthly fee for collection and disposal of solid waste and fee for garbage tags. We haven't changed anything, it just has to be done every year. The
It's all
fees
gonna
are the
stay the
same.
Mhm.
Yeah.
motion to approve it.
A motion by Mindy, second by Ashley. Do roll call, Tom,
Yes.
Rita,
Yes.
Ashley,
Yes.
Mindy,
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Consider for approval resolution 22-08, adopting the amended annual budget for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2022.
I motion to approve it.
Roll call, Tom,
Yes.
Rita,
Yes.
Ashley,
Yes.
Mindy,
Yes.
Terry. Yes. Consider for approval resolution 22-09, closing and vacating alleyways.
So it's the same as the resolution that we passed before. It just has, in that first alley description, it says block lot F in the Northwoods edition. That's the only difference.
Tom,
Yes.
Rita.
Yeah.
Ashley,
Yes.
Mindy,
Yes.
Carrie. Yes. Oh. Consider for approval, resolution 22-10, notice of proposed closing and vacating of alley and transfer of title thereto to adjacent property owner.
And this is for the alley over at, between Union Auto and Raffle Reynolds.
And we're gonna set a date for a public hearing? Is that-
Yes, that is in here to do,
Next
July 12th, yeah, the next meeting. So sorry, just saying like what we did here.
So we don't have anything else there? We just set the public hearing?
Yep.
Okay. Consider for approval, South Fork Land Management bid for the tile project on, oh,
On 2210, we didn't do a motion.
I motion.
we'll do another roll call. Tom?
Yes.
Rita?
Yeah.
Ashley?
Yes.
Mindy?
Yes.
Carrie? Yes. Okay.
Now you can move on.
Consider for approval, South Fork Land Management bid for the tile project on Commercial Street. And that's with, if I understood him right, that's with him the city buying the material that he needs, and he will get the material done. So that we don't have to go get it. Just south of Nathan's,
So, okay.
the ditch.
There.
Yeah.
Both sides,
Oh, it's both sides.
I believe. Wasn't it?
That was supposed to be for both
Yeah.
sides, yeah.
Because Jesse's side goes backwards. And Steve's son operated that built his yard.
Yeah, he just says right along Commercial Street, so.
Maybe better make sure you're talking both sides.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure, because he asked about that, but, yeah, maybe we should.
Yeah, won't hurt to confirm it.
Um,
That's quite a bit for just one side.
That's what I'm thinking.
Prove it pending both sides. Cover both.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can do that. I'll
and
make
that's with him picking up the materials, but the city paying for the materials.
I'll make a motion that we accept that,
But
pending the fact that we're doing both sides of Commercial Street and that from the corner to the 3rd Street to the creek.
Okay. I'll second.
Second Street.
2nd Street isn't there, 2nd Street to the creek. And I can call him when we're done and just to verify that. I think we can move forward with that.
Okay, all those in favor?
I
Opposed, same sign. Okay, discuss an action on tobacco license for Ginger Snap.
So we have her application and her payment if it gets approved.
I'll make a motion to approve.
second.
All those in favor? Oh, I better do a vote. Tom,
Yes.
Rita,
Yeah.
Ashley,
Yes.
Mindy,
I abstain.
Carrie.
Yes.
Okay. Discuss an action on the city's donation to the UBA for the park and pool grants. Well, the grant money we forwarded, but the city portion we didn't. I guess my question kind of was, means they didn't get the amount they were requesting, or they still want the same amount from the city?
Oh, I don't know. And
I would think so.
And I'd wait on the full one.
Yeah, and the park, I mean, there's money in both
Yeah,
park and the pool. So I don't know why we couldn't do the park since they're starting their projects. And they were, I think that was $1,000 they were wanting.
yeah,
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
If I remember
sounds
right.
right.
Yeah.
You want me to look?
No, whatever it was, that money was in there, so.
I think it was
But I'd wait on the pool just because we don't know where the pool's gonna be until the first of next month.
So do I have a motion to go ahead and do the,
What? I got questions. How much is the city supposed to donate toward that, the park?
1,000?
I think it was $1,000, yeah.
And that's,
Okay.
And there's a line item in the budget for the park, and that money's in there.
That's already there.
Yeah.
so I need a motion to the city's portion of the park grant to be paid to the UBA.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to do that with the exception of the pool.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, discussion and action on purchasing a push lawnmower.
I tried to find one, because I was willing to go up on both up at the park, but I don't have one, so I couldn't do it.
And the cities is pretty well done for, if you wanna look at it first.
No, you, I
it's-
think somebody
it's-
looked at it, I think, so.
It's not good, and I believe, it was here, I think, when we had Max.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
So it's mowed a lot of yards. So,
I motion to buy one, you're in charge.
I'll second
yeah,
that.
get one that's easy for me to push.
How much you wanna spend?
I don't know how much lawnmowers are nowadays.
Are we doing just a push?
Yeah, just a push mower, no bagger,
No
No,
bagger.
no electric
No.
one.
no.
No.
No
Okay.
electric one.
Easy put, or
Easy start.
self-propelled.
Oh, yeah, self-propelled.
Oh,
So I'm
yeah.
willing to help out too.
Side discharge.
That'll be some extra exercise.
Don't need a
Well, we
bagger.
might as well do
No.
a seat and an umbrella.
No, those are,
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
You just need a regular old one.
if you do come across one at Menards, they're probably still on
I-
their
I-
11%
I'm
off.
gonna say that.
I haven't touched a lawnmower
Yeah, I was
in
gonna
years.
say, that might be less than your place to start. Yeah, I'll make a motion to purchase that.
I already motion.
Oh, you did,
Oh,
I'll
we already
second.
have a second.
Yeah,
And Tom's gonna take care of
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
make sure Tom's name's
You
on
already
that.
voted in for
all
that.
right, let's go.
it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. Discuss an approval for clerk to get extra copies of the new ordinance books.
How many do we need?
And see, they've always, I remember the last time they did them, I know it was over 5 books, because
Okay,
there's
so we
5 council members
But you're not
alone.
gonna change anything in there.
There's a lot of stuff that's
Yes.
changed.
Yeah.
They haven't been updated
Yes.
since what,
And that's
The
what
2009?
we're-
library should have one.
So,
The library should have one.
yeah, so we
Yeah, I have
have,
a problem.
they
with
have
that.
one here for anybody to look at.
So.
the library has, we'll get a copy, all the council members.
Yeah.
So right
Yeah.
now, there's 5 books that I know of that we already have the, okay, it's already been determined, we're gonna get the pages for. So we need one more maybe for, well, we'll need,
Well, if you're gonna keep
Get
one
5,
here,
6, 7, the library's 8,
Sheriff's Department.
sheriff's
And then-
department
yeah,
usually
we're
gets
gonna
one,
need
9,
and the
and the attorney usually gets one.
Yeah.
That's up to 10.
Is it available online? Is it on the website anymore?
We don't have a website.
Oh, okay. 'Cause
It's
if available
online.
Online, then you wouldn't need the library one, but.
Yeah.
It's on mine.
It is?
Yes, there's a link to it.
Okay.
So do we get 5, 8, 9, 12?
10, 5. But we need to make sure from that gal,
On that ordinance 150.
I think ordinance 150, we still had some hanging out there. I don't know.
Wasn't that the building inspector?
I don't know, there was a bunch of questions.
I know Cindy and I kind of went through some things, but I can, yeah, I'll look into that and get in touch with her again about that and just see how that reads.
Yeah, I don't.
What ordinance was that?
150.
I'm thinking 150, but
Yeah, and I think that's what it was. And there was some changes that were made to it, so she may have got all the answers she needed, but I'll double check with her.
So how much extra for like the binders?
The binders are $12 per binder. The tabs to separate the chapters are $10 per set. For the papers only, it's $62 a set.
Well, I may have extra binders at home.
I probably have an extra binder.
It'd have to be.
Yeah, interest.
You know what, I would just have them do it.
And be done with it.
I really.
Then they're all alike.
Yeah.
So if anybody needs any binders, I probably have some. So we're going to go with 10, and Lacey's gonna check on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should, and I can't find that. I got some questions about the codification, but I don't see what any specifics on.
Is that, you're talking about where you have to go in and inspect the house before somebody moves in?
I don't know, without looking at it.
Well,
Somebody's been going with this shit.
or
Well,
When
the problem is with that,
they don't have to let
it's
you
said
in.
and done before we even know it happened, so.
Yeah. I know, Cindy was there, she had somebody who would come in and inspect the houses. But they don't have to let you in. So that's the catch on that. And if they're buying it, then they don't have to inspect it. But if they're renting it, that's why she put that in there, was for people that are renting it. But everybody comes now and says they're buying it whether they are or not. So. It's kind of a.
Yeah, ordinance 150 was adding in chapter 147 of property maintenance code.
Yeah, I think I would just talk to that gal, just make sure we're where we need to be with that. And
Yeah, because in the rough draft, it's listed as, it's chapter 156, property maintenance and rental housing code. Yeah, the city rental housing code.
Do I have a motion for 10
yeah,
books?
I will make a motion that we purchase 10 total of the new ordinance books after we verify with Alice that we're where we need to be in all of our changes, and that all those changes will be included into the new books.
Okay.
That'll be my motion.
All those in favor, say
Aye.
aye. Opposed? Does anybody want to adjourn? Mindy? Got a second?
I second.
That guy, maybe nobody wants to go home. All those in favor? Aye.